there's always this feeling that some people prefer to have a safety net, right? Some people are like, oh, if this doesn't quite work out, I'll just go and do this.
Mm-hmm.
What I've found is that a lot of times that just leads the person to have this feeling of like comfort and just like, oh, I'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, then fuck it. And then they don't really put that much into it because they know it doesn't have to work. And then in the end it doesn't work and they've just wasted like a whole bunch of time trying this thing, right? So like, what's your take on actually like burning bridges and putting your back against the wall and making yourself really like know that this has to work?
That's probably a bit different to what maybe some people in this space have mentioned or talked about. I do think there is value in having having at least one string, right? Like at least with one hand or a few fingers, you're holding onto something while you start your business, while you start your agency or whatever it is, right? I do think there's value in that, simply because I know how valuable it is to not have a scarcity or desperate mindset. And I feel like if you don't have that, I'm not saying backup plan, but at least, like, for example, you have a job, instead of quitting it and then starting your business, like, maintain the job, right? Or at least, for example, stay in university until you actually see a bit of the results with your business. I feel like it's also a bit delusional to think, well, you've got no track record, right, of being able to put in the work, being able to be disciplined in your life, being able to maybe get a few results. I'm not saying signing a client or like having money in the bank, but at least like maybe locking in one meeting, right? And then saying, fuck all, right? And then, obviously burning bridges. Now, there are some cases where it does make sense. Like I personally, and obviously I'm not going to make the decision for any, everyone needs to do their own independent thinking, but I do think there's more value in taking a year off, or maybe even just deciding not to go to college at this present time, because the idea of going to college is it's actually it's an investment from your side. Like, it's a big opportunity cost. Like, you're spending money on this, you're spending time on this, whereas a job is a bit different because you're getting paid for that, right? You're getting paid for that, and maybe it's like 9 to 5 or less, a few hours, less hours, right, or less investment of time. So if it's not college, I do think it is valuable to maybe grab it with like a few fingers until then you see results with your business, and when once it gets to a point where your business is generating more than your job, or just equal amounts, or just maybe a tiny bit, and it just makes sense to double down on your business to take it to a whole new level, then only then deciding to focus on the business. But I do believe there's effort, there's value in burning bridges, but I also believe that there's a lot of different ways that you can put your back against the wall, right? And I feel like one of them is just being clear with your why. Like, I feel like if you need that, and again, it is a valuable pressure, but if you need the pressure to not have anything backing you up, to be able to put in the work into your business, you're probably not quite ready yet. Just being super honest. I do think it is like a really intense pressure, and I do think it can trigger people into action. But if you don't have, what happens when you get one client or two clients, right? What's going to be the motivation then, right? So like, understand that yes, it's cool to use external things to motivate you, but those things are only going to, those things are going to be, limited, right? And they're not going to have much longevity. So I feel like it is better to in those beginning stages to go inside and kind of understand what is your why are you doing this, and really let that fire under your ass, right? And inside, because once you have that fire burning, then you don't really need as much external pressure.
That's an interesting take, because that fire burning, I remember, is one of like the conversations. I mean, we've had more than countless conversations, but one of the ones that stands out the most to me back in the day, maybe like 3 years ago at this point, that we had was this fire under your ass that you were describing to me, right? And you were just starting your business, and you were grinding hard while we were in uni. And I remember, like, sometimes we'd have friends over in the house, and you'd literally be in your room, right, working away, and everybody would be chilling, like, oh, where's Jaime? Oh, he's working. And eventually people just understand, and then they come to respect the hustle. But these little things, because easily you could have been like, oh, it's 10 p.m. let's just go speak to the homies for a bit, or let's just go chill, or let's just go take this night off, right? But it's like that why that you're talking about, and that fire under your ass really was what kept you going through those harder times.
Yeah, there's no more powerful motivator, right? And it's like, it's not very tangible. If someone asks me like, how can I tap into my why? You know, we've spoken about it in one of the episodes, but it's tough. Like it's a very personal thing. But I do believe that it's better than using these external motivations, you know, like going to I mean, I always laugh, and it does work for some people, right? But you know, a lot of people go to like coffee shops, right, to have that external pressure of having to work, or like, you know, this, or you know, going to the library, or this or that, right? And look, if it works, do it for you, right? But like if it works for you, do it. But my point is, there's probably an underlying thing there. Like if you're needing this external motivation constantly, then you know, you gotta really ask yourself the tough questions instead of, you know, adding stuff, right? Instead of like, you know, instead of treating the problem, right? Like diagnose the problem and then get rid of it, right? And I feel like you're gonna find a complete different type of fuel.